Well, it happened. Tesla is now in the S&P 500, or is set to be included on December 21st of this year, the solstice, the winter solstice. Let's just take a moment to appreciate this point in time, that Tesla, with all the hardships after 17 years of leading the electric charge to renewable energy, has finally been recognized by the financial powers that be, the S&P 500 committee. They are now being included. 3 months late, whatever. It's about time. So let's get into it. My name's Fernando. This is Financial Firefly, and let's get started. Hey guys, don't forget to start your investing journey by claiming your 2 free stocks from Webull, one of which could be valued up to $1,400 when you deposit $100 or more. Possibly 1 free share of Apple, Microsoft, or Facebook when you sign up with Robinhood, and your $10 when you sign up and deposit with M1 Finance. Comment down below to tell me what you get. Links in the description. Let's get back to it. So Tesla's finally been included into the S&P 500. It was only about 3 months late, but here we are. They are set to be included. This is such big news, in fact, that the S&P 500 is now seeking advice from an outside investment committee on how it should be done. Should it be done all at once or in 2 tranches where there are varying percentages to make it easier for shareholders and indexes tracking the S&P 500 benchmark to buy those shares? So for those of you who don't know, the S&P 500 is an index that tracks the 500 biggest companies in the US stock market. And they do quarterly rebalancing, and they kick old companies out, they bring new companies in, and try to keep on pace with the economy and have essentially a good indicator of where the economic activity is headed. And that is tracked by the largest 500 companies. It's a market cap weighted index. Therefore, the larger companies have more weight in the index. And as of right now, that would be Amazon, Microsoft, Apple, Alphabet, Johnson & Johnson, Berkshire Hathaway, and Procter & Gamble are some of the big ones to note. And those are, anywhere from about 100 billion to Apple now upwards of $2 trillion. Tesla comes in and they're at about $400 billion right now. So they're no small puppy. They're actually a pretty big fish, and they will be included in the S&P 500 index. So this is pretty big news. We're finally here. And so there are some requirements to get in this index, and to be included in the S&P 500, you have to be at least an $8.2 billion market cap. You have to have 4 quarters of trailing profitability. You have to have a high liquidity of outstanding shares. So all your floating shares, or shares that are not held up by governments or executives, shares that are actually traded actively in the marketplace that are liquid, floating shares, that float is going to be reduced. Now all these indexes will be buying them up. And because these indexes are going to be tracking against the S&P 500 benchmark, those floating shares will become illiquid. They won't float anymore. They will be sunk in these ETFs, index portfolio managed funds. So by that logic, Tesla is actually going to have now a baseline market cap that, unless anything catastrophic happens, that they're now going to have 3 big pots of major shareholders that are illiquid and are not going to sell. So those are the tried and true, diehard Tesla mania, Elon Musk fanboys such as myself, who won't touch our Tesla shares for anything. You're going to have the executives and government participants that are, long-term visionaries and primary stakeholders of the company. And then you're going to have now your 3rd big bucket of long-term shareholders that are ETFs, mutual funds, benchmark tracking. These big old money, so to speak, are now going to be flowing into Tesla stock to try to track the S&P 500 benchmark as closely as they can. And for context, out of these now 760 some odd million floating shares, some estimates on the low end to the high end, they range from about 120 So like 50 million outstanding shares to now 129 million of these floating shares are going to be bought up by these benchmarks, equivalent to roughly $150 billion of market cap that or value that can be put into Tesla. It's going to be traded back and forth. This doesn't add any inherent value to Tesla, but it adds a tremendous amount of demand. Not to mention all these benchmark trackers have legacy cash flow into these funds. So if you're in a retirement fund or your 401k is flowing into an X date fund, if that fund is tracking the S&P 500 index and you have a recurring transfer into that managed fund, that managed fund is now going to be buying Tesla stock, aka all these people on all these retirement funds are now going to be buying Tesla stock because it's going to be inside the index. It's going to be tracked in the S&P 500. It's a part of the S&P 500 now. So there's new money and old money now coming together in Tesla stock. And it's just a beautiful, beautiful thing, as you can see by the stock being up 13% after hours. So it's going to be pretty amazing option activity tomorrow morning. Hopefully my options that I'm really far down, I'll be up on, and hopefully I'll try to time it. And that's my trading portfolio. We can discuss that in some of my trading videos. So just a quick little video on Tesla being included into the S&P 500. This is a truly momentous occasion. It's kind of validation from the Main Street finance bros and the investment committees that Tesla has wings. Tesla is on the runway to just soaring through space and time and transitioning the world to sustainable energy and electric first. And this kind of just trends on the digital first economy that we're going into and the transition to sustainable energy and electrification. Anyway, so a quick video. My name is Fernando Nazario. This has been Financial Firefly, and I'll catch you later. Don't forget, if you want to start your investing journey, I highly, highly encourage you to, because these times are exponential and we are only going to grow faster and bigger from here. Get your 2 free stocks from Webull. Actually, it's 3 free stocks from Webull now, up to $1,600 in value. Your couple stocks from Robinhood and your $10 from M1 Finance. Links down below.